the past few issues, we've taken you around the world to show you how the Medal of Honor team researches every aspect of the game. But after the research is done, it's time to get back to the office and start getting down to business. So we hung out with the production team to see how they've reinvented the process of making a game.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Electronic Arts Los Angeles. I'm Tarney Williams. I'm the senior producer on Medal of Honor Rising Sun. And today we're going to take you on a tour of the development team to meet some of the individuals who will be bringing this product to life. So let's go.
Storytelling is a very high priority for the Electronic Arts Los Angeles team, so they started looking towards the movie industry for help.
I've worked on many different feature films like Shrek and Prince of Egypt and The Grinch That Stole Christmas. When I came here, we were starting to brainstorm what Rising Sun was going to be. The first thing I brought to them was the idea of the step outline. And this is a method that many screenwriters use to get together with other people and think up the various beats or the various things you'd like to see happen in the level of the game. Open in Pearl Harbor, maybe you're down and below in the ship Arizona. Maybe the ship is being destroyed. Maybe you go into shell shock. Maybe you're blown off the ship, etc., etc. So we would then arrange these beats to tell the story in the best way we could. And then what we would do is I would then take these beats and do a simple storyboard. For the gaming industry, this approach is something new, because I think games have not been particularly concerned with story in the past. And so we've now employed this in great depth on Rising Sun. And I'm hopeful that Rising Sun will have a greater sense of drama, a greater sense of story, and more believable characters than any other interactive game.
Once the basic storyline is fleshed out, the game designers need to make sure there's plenty of action involved, and this is done by creating level maps.
In order to achieve the high production values that are one of the main targets we reach for with Medal of Honor Rising Sun, we spent a lot of time in pre-production doing animatics, storyboards, concept art, and then this is a level map that the designers will actually build up. In this particular one, it's called In Search of Yamashita's Gold, and where we walk through each of these areas, where the enemies are, how the different placements are going to be. We got the down plane here, a lot of jungle up through here, an uphill slope. And then really in here we have one of the actual, getting into the temple itself and the events that happen inside the temple. I don't want to give a lot of that away right now, but it should be pretty amazing when it comes to fruition.
Now if you stay on the raft, you would hit the same trigger and actually get the gator killing the guy.
The ideas for the level maps come from sandbox meetings, where the team literally acts out the level in a sandbox using army men and model planes.
I take input from everybody, try to be the last arbiter on gameplay, but we had a map design that went from river to road almost instantly, and the background artist working on it went, well, that's not really possible in the real world, and it's more visually interesting if we make it a dry creek bed that leads off from this, and then sort of incorporating that in and taking that path to the road as opposed to just starting it up right at water's edge. We should be able to just play it all like a director script from our scripting stuff. It's just this, then pause this long, play this sound file, this, pause this long, pause it. So we should be able to use the same assets.
There's definitely a lot of back and forth between our artists and designers. Initially, the process is our sandboxing, where I'm there to say to the designer, well, visually, I don't know how we're going to pull this off. This isn't going to work. Or I can say, well, you know what? Here's a better idea. Why don't we do this? Because this might actually give you what you want, but look better at the same time.
That way we could get more bang for our buck. So I could set down a trigger every, 10 feet on the raft where he does this. Exactly.
We're going to join our Character Weeklies meeting here. This is a meeting in which the character team is able to show off the progress on their assets, and myself and our art director are able to give them feedback as to the direction and the progress they're going, and they can also get sign-off on those assets and move on to the next thing. The cockpit will be pushed back, like the glass canopy will be back, and he'll be outside, so he'll be firing at you with a pistol. And this is based on an actual event that happened.
I would say the authenticity factor for our game does make it difficult sometimes because, every once in a while you really want to pull out that that artistic license. But then we do have to always bring it back down to whether or not this was authentic. There's always a fine line between what's fun, what's visually interesting, and what's authentic. And we at least do try to start from being accurate, because it's an important aspect of our game, and we definitely respect the fans who have responded to that. But beyond that, I still reserve my artistic license, and there are areas where I do like to push things, but it's never with the intent to spit in the face of accuracy.
The way they achieve that authenticity is by using the reference material that they've collected over the last several months.
My job on the trip was basically to act as a photographer. I walked around with the digital camera. I was really building a texture library. We've ended up building a library of probably thousands of texture shots from the pictures we took on that trip, and it's been very useful. We've been using them to texture the missions for the levels already.
We took video footage of sort of like the atmospheric effects, weather effects and things like that. What we've done with that material now is we've taken it and edited brief little clips of it that we're handing off to our engineering department, so that when we have a specific feature or effect that we're trying to go for, we can actually show them a piece of film that says, this is what we're trying to get at.
Long cylinder here, there's things sticking out of it, so I don't think you would just like toss it and try to catch it. You would like put it and with both hands catch it.
With the animators, we try to animate a little bit hyper-realistic, a little bit more than a normal human can be. You can get motion capture up to a point, but there are some things that real humans can't do that we actually want to accomplish. Technically, you can hook somebody up to a slingshot rig and throw them against a wall, but we've got animators that can make that much more dramatic and who are experienced at doing that kind of thing. It's stretched realism as far as the way the animations work, and the performances are much more compelling.
Ultimately, we've got a gigantic amount of assets and an incredible amount of technical achievement, in my opinion. That's the fun of game development. That is all rolled into one, as I said. Over a terabyte of raw assets that gets distilled down into what we consider to be Medal of Honor Rising Sun, and that has to be shoehorned onto a DVD and into a PlayStation that has suited us very nicely for delivering the special effects punch and the graphical visual quality that we're trying to achieve for creating this title that's going to add the next step to the Medal of Honor franchise.
Hope you've enjoyed your tour today inside the Medal of Honor Rising Sun team, and I hope you've been able to see some of the passion and professionalism that we put into bringing this game to life. Certainly hope you'll enjoy the game as much as we've enjoyed making it. Thank you very much.